everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be recommending books to my teenage self. You might be thinking, how does that work? Theoretically speaking, these are books that I think I should have read as a teenager. All of these books existed when I was a teenager, but for some reason or another, I didn't pick them up. And I think I should have done. So these are some books that I think I should have read when I was a teenager. So first of all we have Solitaire by Alice Oseman. First of all, this is set in the sixth form college, or I think a boys' school with the sixth form college, which is mixed genders. And when I was at school I never really read anything set in school. Try not to break my bookshelves. And it follows Tori Spring. Now you might recognise that name. That is because the Heartstopper series follows Tori Spring's brother. Tori, I think I would have related to her so much when I was at school. She's just kind of edgy and cool and... Wow, no, I wasn't edgy and cool. I meant these are the things I wanted to be when I was at school. So I think I would have enjoyed her character a lot. And the main plot of this book is that there is this organisation called Solitaire, and they keep on performing pranks and just kind of weird things going on in their school, and Solitaire kind of sign off as it was us. There is a lot of sexualities represented in this book, and when I was at school, didn't really read much. To be honest, I didn't read much at all, but I especially didn't read much LGBTQIA plus fiction because I felt like when I was at school there wasn't really that much to choose from. Okay, next. Oh, how am I going to pick all of these up? Was that good enough for you, YouTube? The Mortal Instruments series. Oh no, please don't tell me. Oh, I just got lipstick on one of them. Fantastic. We shall remember this pink lipstick mark now for all of time. I've only read the first two books in this series, so I can't really recommend all of them. Maybe just the first two. This is quite renowned on BookTube. You know, it's kind of a booktubey book, isn't it? And they first started coming out when I was in secondary school. So basically, what this is, the Mortal Instruments, it follows the Shadowhunters. And the Shadowhunters, you can kind of think of them as Buffy. They're a bit like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They just go around killing all the dark things in the world. There is also LGBTQIA plus representation as well, which I think is also done very well in these books, so I think I would have enjoyed it as well. Okay, next up we have If I Can Pick Them All Up and Not Break My Bookshelves. The Noughts and Crosses series by Mallory Blackman. Can we just appreciate how beautiful these are? Look at all the colours, they are so beautiful. I had to buy them when I saw them. Well, I didn't have to, it's just capitalism telling me I had to buy them. But anyway, so these books, if you don't know already, they're kind of aimed more towards, I guess, the younger young adult as such. More like 11 to 12, or maybe even younger, the first few books. Yeah, there are naughty things that happen in it. Wasn't expecting that. Anyway, so these also came out actually quite long before I started secondary school. They've been around for quite a long time now, at least the first one has. And what these books are about is white people are oppressed in this society, and there is a lot of black privilege in this society. So it's kind of a reversal of our current society. And it follows Seffi and Callum, who one of them is a nought, one of them is a cross, so one of them is white, one of them is black, and they fall in love. And it navigates through their story, through the oppression they face, through the racism that they have to face on a daily basis. I've also done a read-along, read-a-thon thing with these books, so if you want to find out more, then I've got some more videos on these. But I think I would have loved to have read these books when I was younger, especially when I was at secondary school. Because I grew up in quite a multicultural area. I had lots of friends who were POC, I guess, people of colour, but I never really properly understood how I was privileged being a white person. So I think if I read these I would have properly understood, well not properly, but it would have given me the insight to engage with racism more. I didn't really think there was much racism when I was at secondary school, but I was obviously wrong and I was just completely oblivious to everything going on around me. So these books would have enlightened me, definitely, and not only that, but they are just fantastic books anyway. So yeah, I would strongly recommend these. Next up is another series, if you can believe it. It's the Divergent Series. I haven't finished these either. I've only read the first book, which I really enjoyed. I can't even remember what they're about, to be honest. There's 4 different kind of groupings as such. So you've got Divergent, and I can't remember the other 3. This is how society is divided up into these 4 groups. Basically, when you're in secondary school or high school, whatever, you get put into your group, and if your group is different from your parents, then tough really. You go and live in a different world, well not a different world, but a different area. I don't heckin' know, I can't remember. It's dystopian, but it's dystopian, which I absolutely love. I love dystopians, and it's just so full of energy, these books. And there is a romance in it, and I'm usually not a romance fan, but I think I would have loved this romance between the 2 main characters, and it was just groovy. I hate this cover. I hate this cover. But it's good, it's good. That was a terrible, absolutely horrific summary of that book, but there we go. Next is The Adventures of Somebody, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. That is not Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Again, another horrific book cover. So when I was younger, well no, I still do, I used to love Sherlock. I used to be absolutely obsessed with Sherlock. I used to watch them very often, and I never read the books. I recommended the books to one of my friends, and I hadn't read the books. I don't understand. So I should have read these when I was younger, when I was obsessed with Sherlock and Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, I just really enjoy these books, to be honest. Well, particularly the adventures. Like some of the longer works, like A Study in Scarlet, the first half of that I was like, what's going on? So if you don't know, Sherlock Holmes is like the ultimate detective. He's funny because he's so, what's the word? Doesn't really care about other human beings. That's not a word, but whatever. And it just follows, this book, it follows so many different tales and investigations that him and his mate Dr. Watson go on. So there's quite a few, I think there's like 12 in the first book or so, and I really need to read, where's my other one that I've got? The Return of Sherlock Holmes, and the memoirs I really want to read as well. Wait, I shouldn't do that because I'm going to end up with an injury. Next is Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is a YA novel published in 2011, I believe. Nobody cares, but whatever. This is a very edgy book that I think I would have loved when I was younger. So it follows this boy, I can't remember his name actually. Miles, is it Miles? It's probably Miles. He goes to private school for the first time, and he's living in dorms or halls or whatever you want to call it. And then he meets this girl called Alaska. She's a pixie dream girl, and I think as a teenager I would have loved pixie dream girls. I would love reading about them because, again, I wanted to be a pixie dream girl when I was younger. And he falls in love with her. He falls in love with her. And it is tragic. It is quite tragic, this book, but it also has such... I don't know how John Green does it, how he understands teenagers so much, but it has that essence of friendship that I really wanted when I was at school. So I think reading about it, I would have felt like I was in their crowd, if that makes sense. So it follows Miles and his friends and Alaska and how they navigate. Why do I have to say navigate? Because I don't know any synonyms for navigate. Navigate through school and their work, and it's just about teenagehood, and something sad happens. You could probably tell what the sad thing is that's going to happen if you read the chapter titles, but there we go, I won't spoil anything for you. It's just the emotions that he portrays in books I think is fantastic, and I would have loved this when I was younger. And lastly, don't tell me I've got lipstick on this again. No, I haven't. Fantastic. Why am I singing Edelweiss? I don't know. Next is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Here's a fun fact. I thought Erin Morgenstern was a man when I first read the name Erin Morgenstern. No one cares. Again. So my friend Alice got this for me, and I'm very, very thankful she did. I remember the occasion, and I was very happy. This is a very magical book. It was one of the first magical books I ever read in this kind of setting, so in terms of young adult books. So it follows basically magicians, sort of, and they have to go through these trials, I guess. I can't really remember, to be honest. And there is a little romance that blossoms. Some would say one of the best romances in young adult fiction, but to be honest, I think that kind of made me cringe, because I don't like romance. but I think I would have enjoyed this when I was younger, because I think I used to like romance when I was single and sad. Single and sad. It's about a circus, and it's so atmospheric because this night circus appears in different locations around the world at any one time, and there are these mega fans of the night circus that try and pinpoint where they're going to be next, but no one can really guess where they're going to be. And there's lots of different rooms with different magic that happens in each of them, and it's just very beautiful. It's beautifully written and very, like I said already, atmospheric, and when you read it you feel like you're kind of in that world, and I think I would have loved this if I was younger. I think this might have even been one of my favourite books if I read it when I was younger as well. So here are some books that I would have liked when I was younger. So obviously we can't go back into the past, but there we go. Maybe I would have hated all these when I was younger, who knew, who knows. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Also, before I go, let me know of any books that you wish you read when you were a teenager in the comments. Thank you very much, and goodbye.